the little arrow. And okay, there we go. Good morning, good morning. I am trying to figure out whether I am live right here. Um, this is day 3 of streaming all over the planet, not just to Twitter. So hopefully you guys are there. Let me go up here, see if I see myself in. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Where is? Let's see. All right, all right. Looks like we're getting there. Looks like we're getting there. Give me a little moment here. I want to say hello to some of my friends around the world. My dogs. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. I think everyone's under pressure. You were under pressure to buy the dip last week, and now the pressure is when you took too many things off and there are things going on and you thought that, hey, you were supposed to have just a broken bounce. So let me go here. All right. Oh, there we go. What up, Jay Martin? What up, Durnell? What up, New Canaan? What's up, Austin? Hopefully you're feeling well. We got a good morning from Texas. What up, Staten Island? I grew up in Long Island, but I had a lot of friends from Staten Island. What up, SPX Godfather, newest member of the Alpha team? We got a good morning from Toronto. We got Hamilton in the house. We got It's front and center. We got my friends from Ukraine. You can see behind me, that was when I went to visit the Ukraine. I went there 5 times in the last 7 years to train 100 like-minded traders around the world how to use technical analysis. What we did there is we used to take a beverage out at night and say, here's to technical analysis that unites continents. And you can see by all the people in the dog pound, in the 630 club, you know, how technical analysis is one current language around the world that everyone uses differently to make a living and provide a living for their families. So, with that being said, today is what? Today is Wednesday, my goodness. On Friday, the oscillator was minus 100. Minus 100. And yesterday we were neutral. Okay, the SPY went to 450 where everyone said it was going to go and probably take a week. It did it in 2 days. And now what we're getting a little bit is the overthrow. Why are we getting an overthrow? Because Google just declared a 20-for-1 stock split, which, you remember what happened to Tesla? It changed the complexion and wound up going to all-time highs. Apple went to all-time highs. And who the hell wants to be short a stock doing a 21-for-1 stock split in July? So anyway, Google's at all-time highs, just like that. Right away, I was thinking this better put some damn pressure on the board of Amazon. Amazon is still considered in a bear market. Hasn't done anything in 15, 16 months. Stock's been dead. Hopefully they follow suit. So anyway, what does Jimmy Biggie say? FOMO is coming. Today is not the day to chase. We'll go over the charts. But, you know, you just can't blindly short. There were a lot of bears yesterday saying, Red Dog, you shorting today? You shorting today? I'm short. I'm buying puts. I'm short. I'm like, you know, I actually thought that the overthrow could happen on Friday into the jobs report, just because maybe if we had a week of jobs reports, the computers buy tech, and everyone will think, you know, this is where we pause, but then they always make as many people feel as uncomfortable as possible. That's what the market does. Why does the market want everyone to make money? Why does the market want everyone to win? The only people who win in the market are those who work really hard, those that take their jacket off, deal with pressure. How do you deal with pressure? You get prepared. How do you get prepared? You have a routine. What's your routine? It's different for everybody. For me, it's getting up 4:45. What's it called? Looking around the world, what's happening with Europe, with Asia. In my sauna, I start looking at some charts. I post some levels, and then I do about 500 reps to sweat it out, take an ice cold shower, and now here I am. So let's get to it. Yeah, Jeff did do a split with his wife, the selfish bastard. Anyway, I'm only kidding. Alexa off. All right, so here we go. I want to make sure the charts are up. Are the charts up? Let me know. Are the charts up? Yes. Tell me what we're looking at right now. What are we looking at on the chart? I want to see what the lag is. Let's see, because yesterday Redpub messed it up. Yesterday I was sitting there talking to myself like a crazy person. And then all of a sudden, oh, the charts aren't up. Tell me what chart are you looking at right here? Come on, Pixel. I see you. I see you. All right, the cues. Good job, Korcha. This is like an interactive thing here. So I'm gonna put the phone down. You're gonna go right here. Okay, and let's get to it. So here are the cues. Just like that. Wow, right? The world was ending last week. This was Monday. This was like what is it, 7 to 10 days ago. Then Friday was your red dog reversal at 340. So if you got long here at 340 versus 337, woo! If you've taken some of my classes, you know your day count rules. Day count is the beginning of a potential active sequence with a day one. Sometimes it's a big bullish candle that engulfs a range. Sometimes it's a red dog reversal. Sometimes it's a big gap up, and then you measure it, okay, and there are ways to add to it. So day one, you're a buyer. Day two, you could add. And you could have added right here, and when it took out 352, it confirmed the red dog reversal. Then yesterday, you had some back and forth. That's probably when some of the shorts came in there, like, oh, this is a 3-day move, it's done. And no, we closed above the prior high, and now we're opening up somewhere around 370. Okay, I went out yesterday and bought some 368 calls. I didn't buy, I'm sorry. I sold some 368 calls. That was my way to hedge. Okay, I still have about 8 longs right now. So, you know, this up open will be pretty good to me. But, you know, I also said, you know, instead of shorting the close and taking a SPY or Q's hedge, I've seen this novel before where all of a sudden I'm in 7 to 8 longs, 2 are down, I'm short the SPYs or the Q's. The SPYs are up 3.5 or the Q's are up 5. I'm losing in my hedge. 2 of my stocks are even, 1's down, and all I want to do is participate in this active sequence more, and I'm losing money instead of staying with it. So I said, hey, you know what I could do is I could sell the 368s, which should be right around here, and then I'll let it convert me. I did it for today. You know, so at the end of the day, if the Qs are over 368, it'll get me short the Qs, which isn't the end of the world, because I feel like into this area, you know, even if we hit this major resistance, which is 377, we're going to need to retrace a little bit. Okay, we still have the headwinds out there. You still have the Fed reducing the pace of purchase. You still have 3 to 4 rate hikes. So this right here was a sentiment, you know, snapback with the little fundamentals in there too. You know, we did get some strong earnings. You got strong earnings from Apple and Microsoft last week. Google was pretty impressive with the stock split. So what are going to be one of the clues of the day is if you look at Google, the question is, does Google open up 250 points and close up 350 points, or does it open up 250 or 70 points and only close up 150? It's meaning, does the high of the day in Google happen in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes, or does it open up base and then grind higher? That will be important for tech sentiment. And in order for this to stay special, okay, this is your active momentum pivot. This is 3019. So if Google stays above 3019, the all-time high, that is impressive. Okay. You look at something like Amazon, which everyone's like, Red Dog, does this mean Amazon's going to split their stock? I don't know. Last year, Amazon had 2 blowout, reports, and I had big call spreads on. And Jeff and McKenzie decided to sell their shares 2 days after to stifle it, and then it did a whole lot of nothing. So I would think they'd be paying attention. So if you go to Amazon, okay, here's the active look. Okay, it also did a red dog reversal at 27.58. It also cleared 28.86 right there. So I would think if Google holds up pretty well and holds 3/4 of the opening gains, you know, Amazon can get to 31.26 to 31.76. Okay, maybe by Thursday. You know, if they don't announce a split, I don't think the report's going to be so great, considering, you know, it's hard to get product. You still have supply chain worries and you know, year-over-year comps. So they're going to have to do something. So I bought actually a call spread yesterday. I did a 3,200 by 3,300 call spread. Actually, my cost was only $8. It's on the VTF. Yesterday, some of the Alpha team did do that. And thinking, hey, maybe you can get back to 3,300, which would be halfway into this range. And now with this 24-1 by Google, you know, I think people are thinking that might happen. And if you look at the weekly here, you know, all that would be is bouncing back, you know, from a low here, and there's your high, right back into the middle. And it's still nowhere. It's been doing nothing since 2020, except for starting to take over continue to take over the world, but their stock isn't, because the mechanics of it doesn't work up there. So let's hope. But we'll see. Hope, you know, I have a call spread. It'd be nice if Amazon could be up 100 or so today. Then I'll have to decide what to do, because I'll be 5 times up on that. Maybe I take some off and I roll it a little bit higher. Facebook, Qualcomm might push the Qs higher today. All right, Facebook's after the close. That's true. Right now, AMD, I got to give it to my boy on Twitter. He'd say, you know, he always interacts with me. He's like, you're going to see AMD at 129 tomorrow. I looked at it. I said, hey, let me look at AMD. And I was like, all right, that makes sense, right? This was a floor, all right, and now here's 130. So from a red dog reversal buy here, some people took options. I did not. This 130 should be some resistance. So if you are, looking, if you were in AMD and you bought it after the print last night, because we don't take stock into earnings, this 130 is probably a better sell than a buy. I would not be adding right here into 130. Some people might actually even, short versus a 5-minute high here, right? Because it's a pretty big area from 99 to 130. That's a pretty nice move. So I would not be looking to buy there. I'd be looking to either trim if you're long or maybe look for a 5-minute high to fade against. Some guys, were like, Red Dog, on Monday you went over the Netflix trade. He's like, that made my year already. I'm like, well, it made sense, right? It's 300 off the high. It was calculated. You had a big gap. You had Andrew buying stock. You had Reed come out and insider buy. So, how do you play something like that? Well, here it is. Okay, it was defined. We walked in without being long it, and then all of a sudden, like, how do you get involved? Like, well, if it gets above 398, that's a spot you could buy against. And then if it gets into the earnings gap of 408, you have it all the way to fill to 506. So if you sold Netflix when it broke the 8-21 day here and stayed out of the way and didn't take it into numbers, you had a calculated post-earnings cash flow play. There are all different types of setups post-earnings where you don't have to take massive risk into earnings. Sometimes you get a gap up and you could buy versus the gap pivot. It goes sideways and continues. Sometimes you get a gap down after being annihilated, and then it fills that gap calculated. So I'm sure Netflix is up a little bit. This is the same thing day 1, day 2, day 3. Even though there's more to fill here, I would be careful with that. Apple, I am still long. I've been long Apple since earnings on Friday. I don't anticipate it running away, but nice action yesterday. I bought Apple on Friday. It made a nice move. This was Thursday. Yeah, Friday. Then a Monday, you had a chance to buy red, and then nice inside day yesterday. So, if this continues to go sideways here and then makes a move back towards all-time highs, you have to be careful just, trying to short tech. And if Google holds above that all-time high pivot, all of a sudden Google's at all-time high. It's not just a bounce back into a broken area to be sold. So that would breed a little bit of confidence probably into the active bulls to be a little bit more careful trying to blindly short things, which we never do anyway. We don't blindly short anything. We look at levels and we try and do it calculated. Today is only Wednesday. As far as some of you guys are in DWAC with me, I am in DWAC, and I bought more through 75.50. During the volatility, it actually acted really well. I remember putting on the trade around 60, 62, went as high as 91 on this candle. I get out of the way, bought a little bit, added. It's probably down a little bit this morning. I think you can go red to green. If it were to get above 91, I think that that the social app with Trump doesn't mean I love Trump. It's just a chart that's acting well. He has 200 million people following him, so maybe there's an opportunity here. We'll see. PayPal's a disaster. It shows you that you can't just buy a stock because it's down. Maybe you look at it, see if it puts a 5-minute low and buy versus that. Otherwise, get away from it. You can't have a fintech growth company like that slowing down and shit in the bed like that. So I'm going to avoid PayPal. I'm not going near it. Someone asked me about, look, people thought Netflix was dead. And then all of a sudden, to put a bottom tail went sideways. You had a fund coming like Andrew, and then you had insider buying. So maybe that happens with PayPal another time. AMD, again, I just showed you the level. I wouldn't be buying into that. Some people are like, well, shouldn't we be hiding in the banks? Yeah, the banks look okay. The banks are penetrating into resistance here. So, it's been working higher. It hasn't been really where the action's been ever since this false breakout. But, rebuilding, even ARK. ARK I was in, and I'm still in. Nice little trade here, right? If you weren't involved from when it broke the bear flag, broke another flag, gave you a red dog reversal on Friday, gave you a little follow through Monday, and you could have even bought a dip. First time in a while, you could have bought a dip. So anyway, I have less, but I have a feeling this time it goes sideways here. And just like maybe the overthrow in the Qs or an overthrow in the SPYs, maybe this actually gets towards 89 in time. Because everything else has been a 3-day move, fail. 3-day move, red dog reversal, fail. This 3-day move, some buyers came back. So some guys are having some success trading like UPST, AFRM. So we'll see what today brings. As far as Bitcoin, it's still getting rejected at that downtrend. So you still need to be careful. What I love about a big downtrend is once you break the downtrend, that's your buy signal. So you could be long some in the hole, which I did go with good till cancel orders into some crypto. But you then have to wait for your buy signal. And if you look here at crypto or at Bitcoin, it keeps nudging up against this spot, right? So here you could see it a little bit more clear. If you go like that, here's your downtrend. Ever since 63.5 broke in the 8 and 21 day gave way, that's when I went to mostly cash, because that's what I did also. Here, remember this? Remember this head and shoulders top right there? That was your sell signal also. We had a sell signal in May. I was 90% cash because I was only trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then you had this down move. And then during this consolidation phase before the buy signal in July, then I started to really expand my wings to some altcoins, and I learned a lot about a lot of things. So into this break of 63.50, I still stayed in like 25% of my altcoins, but a lot of them were up 6, 7, 8 times for me. So anyway, I couldn't go to all cash that time. So now, if you look here, this is your downtrend, and it keeps poking up against it. At some point, maybe it comes in a little bit, makes a higher low, and then breaks it to the upside. That would be great. I did post a few charts, a few days ago where some guys made 20% like that. And I still think there's those type of charts out there. I posted Sol, which I haven't been in, right down here. These are like little broken bounce plays, but that's 20%. Okay, so if you listened, you made 20%, and it still has a little bit more room. I sold a portion of it because this I'm just trading. I got out up here, so I have the luxury to buy down there. Some guys like, hey, what about Algo? Algo, I'm in a nice size position, Algorand. I call them by their symbols. I do think that if you're not in this, and you didn't buy it at 250 or 280 or even here at $1.75, right around the dollar, you could probably make 20, 25% there too. I think that this has a broken bounce ahead of it. And then also I think for clues of whether crypto could actually do something better than just a broken bounce to the DT line, look at this crypto.com. It was another really big winner of us from 40 cents to 97 cents, got rid of most with that red dog reversal top. I did start buying around here. I added a lot. And now if it can go sideways and get above this 44 cents with authority, they're supposed to have a lot of Super Bowl ads, and it's like a crypto Super Bowl. They're playing in SoFi Stadium, which is fintech, and then there should be some commercials there. So we'll see. Does it fail here, and was that a broken bounce, or go sideways and give you another push? You could look at stuff like that. I'm not playing Qualcomm for earnings, so you can see how that goes. If you want to look at Qualcomm, I haven't really even looked at this chart in a little while. Qualcomm, I guess last time I looked at it, it looked like a head and shoulders top, and it broke 173. And then made a low on Friday like everything else. Gave you a 3-day bounce right back into it. So here's your resistance. It's going to have to be really, really special for that to work. So energy's been really strong. Look at that move in the XLE. Wow. Okay, the XLE never corrected. It was above the 8 and 21 day, which is a special active sequence. Ever since the XLE broke above 64, okay, it's been trending higher. Here, it got a little faulty, but held the 21 day. And now look at it. I think there's still an opportunity in Hess. Hess has not broken out. Hess has been being held down by this 95 area. Okay, so to me, I feel like this Hess should stretch at some particular point. It held 83. Maybe it gets above this 95 and gets to 100 if energy sector stays in play. But again, it's been trending in easier to hold, but the real power play or the real oversold bounce and pendulum swing was being a buyer of the market Friday when the oscillator was minus 100, and now the oscillator is neutral. It's actually probably plus 20 now. So now we're going to, at plus 40, we'll be overbought. So this is a very tricky spot. You can't just blindly short, but it doesn't mean you could, blindly buy. This is day 4. Up on day 4, in my day count rules, I'm usually trimming, not adding. And sometimes on day 4, you're a little pissed because you remember all of the shares in stock you had at day 1 or day 2. Don't be pissed. You netted money. You did fine. And there's a lot of time left this year. My friend Mitch is saying hi. Max Mike is saying hi. What's up, guys? GM. I don't know. GM, their guidance was good. This quarter wasn't great. It was hard to get components. We'll see what happens here. It's not very compelling. I put a call spread on in GM. I was thinking maybe it can get back up towards 58, which it still might. Still at the bottom end of this range. So we'll see, if they try and treat this well. It's still very, very low PE, etc. Lastly, Tesla. I am in a little Tesla overnight. I was thinking that you had a decent inside day. You had a nice red dog reversal here also. Right here, we claimed 829. Had a nice move on Monday. And then inside action. So now the question is, can it get above 943 and work its way into this resistance zone, which I would be selling, not buying. So I'm in there. If it gets above 943, there's room, and then we'll see. I went over Apple. Lucid, I haven't looked at in a while. It's probably getting a broken bounce. Some of those, all those things are getting broken bounces. They're probably the same. Just be careful after 2-3 days. It might just be a broken bounce, or if it's been beat up enough, maybe there's a little bit more. But we'll measure the action. Lastly, we'll go with the SPYs. Again, look here at the SPYs, and it is approaching this resistance zone. Okay, 457 is a pretty big resistance area. So from 429 red dog reversal and adding through here or adding through there, up 3 or 4, I would not be buying the SPYs today. I would not say that to myself. I'm not going to chase the SPYs today, but I'm not going to blindly short. Maybe the SPYs put in a 5-minute high, then you short verse that, and then see if it retraces lower, and then maybe you catch a cute short. And if you're still long the SPYs and you're active, I'd be trimming into this spot. Maybe there's a little bit more room to 459. That would be a retest at this accelerated trend line, but that's going to be very hard to sustain. So I would be a seller into there, even though you guys think red dogs are permeable. Yes, over 100 years, the bull market wins. And long term, I put in monthly flows every single month into my wife's 401k, my 401k, my son's 529. But if you actively trade for a living, you have to be consistent. You have to be right. You have to have routine. And I appreciate you guys tuning into the 630 Club. Love hanging out with my dogs around the world. Starting to stream it this way. If you're watching this on Instagram, the charts are very, very funky. What do I mean by very funky charts? They don't come in the right way. You're better off watching the 630 Club on your desktop, not on your phone, or Twitter comes in pretty well. Let's see. I'll say thank you. Later, Todd. Later, Teaching Jaw. Guys, have a good day. Relax. I know there's pressure to make money, to net money, to perform. And once you're on day 4 of a bounce back, everyone looks back and thinks about what they could have done, how they reacted, how they switched gears or not. If you're a little upset with yourself, write it down. Write down what you did well. Write down what you're pissed off about. So that's how you get your little trading voice here. So next time an opportunity comes about, your inner voice will tell you how to react. You'll listen to it better the next time instead of say, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, because traders, those are 3 bad words. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. They should be like 4-letter words, but they're not. In a trader vocabulary, shoulda, coulda, woulda is the worst enemy. Next time, instead of shoulda, woulda, coulda, do some. Okay, but do it calculated, have a plan, and if you have a routine that you love every day, that'll be confidence for you to do it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow.